Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this dose of celestial goodness. As always, thank you for joining me in this space and on this journey. And more than ever, since it's been a while, I definitely appreciate your patience as I've been evolving through my own life. I'm very happy that you're here, and if you're reading, listening, or watching this, I really do hope that something beautiful has been unfolding for you or will unfold for you in the coming days. I also hope that you're doing well, checking in on your breathing, moving your body, resting, finding the things that bring you joy, and I have to throw this in, and drinking your water. I say that to you, but I'm also, giving myself the same advice. And that's really because on some days, it feels like we can do all of these things. And then on other days, even achieving one of these is a major victory. Let me also assure you that each day looks different for all of us, and our best looks different on different days. What might be your 100% today is tomorrow's 20%. And that's fine. My mom always says that when men on earth have done their best, angels in heaven can do no better. And speaking of my mom, I got to spend some quality time with her yesterday, which was very nice. So yesterday, where I live was a balmy 64 degrees. Well, not quite balmy, but honestly, it was perfect. Winter has been slow dancing through the weeks, and yesterday it really felt like warmth and sunshine and just the promise of beautiful days. And yes, despite being born in December and growing up in the frozen tundra that is Wisconsin, I'm jesting but not really, I truly struggle with winter. I've had to be very intentional about absorbing the lessons that I learned from that season. I've had to really find ways to see the beauty in winter. And over the years, I've been able to do that. But sometimes when I look out and I still see snow and stuff, I'm like, what is this? And I'm also reminded of Albert Camus's words. And I really love this. It's actually from a letter that he wrote to a friend. My dear, in the midst of hate, I found there was within me an invincible love. In the midst of tears, I found there was within me an invincible smile. In the midst of chaos, I found there was an invincible calm. I realized through it all that in the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer. And that makes me happy. For it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me, within me there is something stronger, something better pushing back. There are so many treasures from winter, and when we look closely and intentionally, we can see them. But at least for yesterday, I was just thankful that the weather reminded me of spring. So my mom and I and my sister, my younger sister, all hung out. We didn't know that it was going to be such a nice day, but it really set the stage for a very beautiful, late evening together. And I lamented to my mom that I hadn't written on my blog or made a video for my channel in a few months. And she was very calm in her way, and she said, "You know that everything is cyclical. Whatever was going on in your personal cycle meant that your focus and attention was elsewhere, and that's okay too. You always come back to the things you love." And that really filled me with a sense of peace. We are cyclical creatures, and for those of us that have spent time learning our personal rhythm, we know when our body is whispering to us, whispering life instructions about what our body needs, what our soul needs, what our mind needs. And at the end of 2021, I needed to rest, to travel and to see some of my dear ones. So in December, we went to Mexico for a very dear friend's wedding, and really also to celebrate my birthday. So my love and I, also known as Plant Daddy to some of you, went to Chichen Itza, and it was pretty awesome. It was very amazing in a historical sense, but also just a very beautiful place to see. I'm a huge history nerd, and I'm always filled with gratitude when I get to see something that's not only been built centuries ago, but that has survived so much, including surviving humans, because we can really do a number on, some historical stuff. The sunshine in Mexico, the laughter, just with my friends by the seaside, and getting to celebrate love, that really did wonders for my soul. So after we left Mexico, we had a short stint at home. We had some fun celebrating Plant Daddy's birthday, which was on Christmas. We also went to this Enchant Christmas thing, which was pretty cool. We had a whole day of playing Unstable Unicorns with the expansion pack with two of our very favorite family members. And, just those little things that you do in the downtime are also very blissful. And after that, in what felt like our millionth COVID test, we left for the UK to see some of our treasured relatives. And some of them we hadn't seen in over 2 years, and so all the test taking, everything was worth it. London during the holidays is one of my favorite experiences. And of course, we got to visit the Harry Potter studio tour. That was a big highlight for this Gryffindor sun, Ravenclaw rising, and Slytherin moon. So that was a highlight. We also did a walking tour of Oxford. So Oxford is only a short train ride away from London, so it's a very worthy day trip, I would say. While I still prefer Bath to Oxford, it was really beautiful from an architectural perspective. It's a very old and very charming city, and it's also very manageable. So we rang in the new year in the UK, and then as quickly as it began, vacation was over. So at the beginning of 2022, my gosh, I needed to pick up the pieces of things that were unfinished, to sit with my planner and just to think about how I wanted this year to be. So, I'll show you my planner because it's very pretty. We'll get to that in a second. All of this, has been very informative for how I want the year ahead to be. Like spending that time with myself and thinking about what worked, what didn't work, and setting intentions. So speaking of that, intention and intent, those two words actually make up the essence of what I want the year ahead to be for me. Ever since I've turned 34 many years ago now, I've chosen a word that helps to anchor my year. So past words have included balance, flow, and prosperity. This year, I will be turning 40, and I sat down with my planner and I thought about how would I like to experience this year? And in the build-up, really to a new decade, intent kept coming back to me. So I have this beautiful planner. It's the Magic of One, or I guess. And it's an astrological planner. It's gorgeous. And not only is it packed with great information, it's also just beautiful and feels nice to touch. So one of the things that I love the most is that in planning for the year ahead, they give you 8 areas to focus on. Each has 3 additional words that are for extra inspiration. There's spiritual, which has expansion, soul, and being. Mental, with mind, learning, and wisdom. Work, career, contribution and service, love, family, relationships, connection, wealth, financial goals, assets, resources, social, for connection, community, fun, physical, for health, fitness, and well-being, inspiration, travel, creativity, and adventure. And when I thought about each area, I realized that I wanted to really deepen my connections, be fully present when I'm focused on one of those areas, and to create more meaningful experiences in each area. So an example is like with relationships. One thing that I would like to do more of is to have more one-on-one conversations. In these conversations, there are no phones, nothing that draws my attention away from whoever it is that I'm speaking with. One of the things that I really missed the most during the pandemic was really having in-person conversations with friends and family, and just really being there, present and absorbed in the conversation and not distracted when interacting with them. So I look forward to doing more of that this year, and, just really making good connections with the people I care about. Another area is mental, which is somewhere along the way, it became very difficult for me to read all these wonderful books that I have and keep collecting. So I set a personal goal, whether through audio or through reading the actual book. It's an important goal for me. There are just so many things that are happening in the world and that create so much virtual and visual stimulation. And I really found it hard for me to focus on reading like I used to. So those are really two of a long list of things that I set out to be more intentional about this year leading up to my 40th. So I don't have any hang-ups about getting older, by the way. I just simply like to mark the decades and to be thankful for making it this far and to reflect on what I've learned. So I'm curious, what are some things that you're interested in doing this year? Is intentionality something that you've thought about? Do you have any goals? And I also have other, goals for this space, as in celestial goodness. And I hope to continue to provide more uplifting content for the soul. That was the initial goal. It's always there and present in my mind, even when I'm not here, putting out a video or putting up my blog. So I do want to also expand my astrological practice, and I'll continue to do that. So one of my friends suggested, and another has volunteered or maybe been voluntold to help to transfer some of this audio into podcast files. So we'll see. I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. So whatever you decide that you want your year to look like, I hope that it will be an amazing one that's filled with beautiful and meaningful experiences, adventures, and insight that turns into wisdom. So may the stars shine brightly over your week, and may it be an absolutely beautiful one indeed. It's great to see you again.